Hey guys!
Welcome back! Today we're here with
Bret Shuford! Woo! He's been in Wicked, Paramore, The Little Mermaid, Amazing Grace, Wonderful Life, On the 20th Century, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and Beauty and the Beast.
So, let's get on to the video.
Here we go! Broadway time!
So, how did you get into theater?
Well, I was probably the same age you were when you saw Paramore. I really loved musicals, like movies, of course. Like I used to watch The Wiz all the time, and Annie, and then when I was like 6, there was a local kids troupe performing at a library. So I grew up in Texas, and at a local library, my mom took us to see this performance, and these kids were singing songs, and I'd only seen people do that in movies, and then to see it in real life, I was like, I want to do that. I didn't know you could really do that in real life. And so that was it. When I was 6 years old, I just knew like that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so I started doing community theater where I grew up, performing in all of the shows that were, if it was within like a 30-mile radius of where we lived in Texas, I pretty much was in it.
I like that.
And that's what I did. And I took dance classes, and I was very active in drama club and in choir, and just wanted to do musical theater. So I did that, and then made it to New York eventually.
Favorite show mishap?
Favorite show mishap. I guess my favorite mishap was when we did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on Broadway, which was my first Broadway show. There was, do you know the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yes.
Okay. So, it's about a flying car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they had this flying car in the show that was like a $2 million special effect machine. It was crazy.
Oh.
Wow.
But because it was all new technology, it would break down all the time. And it would sometimes, like, I remember we stopped the show for like 45 minutes one time.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Did you refund the money? Like, for the show?
Well, no, we finished the show.
Oh, okay.
Just like a 45-minute intermission.
Everyone just waiting there like...
Yeah, and usually there's people in the car, so the car is like hanging over the audience with people in it. Like the cast is still in it
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And so my favorite thing was when the car would break down, or like sometimes the finale, the car would break down, and we'd have to, it was like the end of the show, and we just have to finish the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And the car just like stopped, and we'd all be like singing, and we would look at the conductor, and we would just keep repeating the song until they could restart the computer. And
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God, that's so funny.
Dedication. I'd be like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
nope, you gotta stay all the way through to the end.
Right.
Yeah. It's like singing the same line 45 times.
45 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
It was like, oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, and then we would look, oh, we're still going chitty chitty bang bang, and just keep singing,
I like that.
So, what inspires you?
What inspires me? That's a great question. I am inspired really by fearlessness, by people who, I would say, like, being fearless doesn't mean it's your absence of fear. It means that you feel the fear and you do it anyway, right? And that always inspires me to see people constantly push themselves past whatever fears or frustrations, or especially during this time, I think a lot of people are feeling frustrated and powerless over what's happening. But to see people still creating, or still building relationships, or building businesses, or doing YouTube videos, or whatever, seeing people do stuff in spite of what's happening, that really inspires me. I love to see people just be creative,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this question, you can answer it 2 ways. Okay, a lot of people answer this like 2 ways also.
Mm-hmm.
So this question is, what musical would you want to turn into a movie, or what movie would you want to turn into a musical?
That's a good question. What musical would I want to turn? I feel like I want to answer both of those.
Okay.
Musical do I want to turn into a movie? Gosh, you know, well, I will say that there is a movie that I want to turn into a musical, and I've had this idea for a long time. So if you want to produce, let's get together. Let's have a conversation. But there's a movie that was from the 80s that was kind of a not great movie, but it had an amazing cast, and it starred Meryl Streep and Roseanne Barr, and it was called She-Devil.
I know. Yep.
Do you know it?
Yes, I know.
Okay. And I think that would be a great musical because it's kind of a heightened reality, kind of like Hairspray is kind of like a heightened reality.
Yeah.
But it's two strong female leads, which we need to see represented more. And but it's a different demographic than like Wicked.
Right.
But it's an interesting show. So I'd like to work on that. And I guess what musical I would like to see turn into a movie, I would like to see Next to Normal made into a movie.
Yeah, I would like to see that too, actually.
Yeah.
I really like Next to Normal.
Me too.
So what is your favorite co-star and why?
Like who have I played with like as a co-star and why? What's my favorite co-star? That's a tough question. I love people. Like that's a big part of my story. I just love people.
Yeah.
So I will say that I made really great friends. When you saw Paramore, the girl who was the lead, her name was Ruby Lewis, and she and I became really, really close friends during that, which was ironic because the character I played in that show was also one of her close friends, and she had this she has this crazy voice. Like her voice is nuts. So we had so much fun backstage. And really, that's like what it's about when you're doing a show. It's like how much fun can you have with the people backstage? And I would say Ruby and I became pretty tight during that. Yeah.
What do you do to get ready for a show?
You got to physically warm up. So I do a physical warm up based on my dance background. So either like a jazz warm up, or sometimes depending on what I have to do in the show, I'll do a yoga warm up because that actually helps get my breathing going. And a vocal warm up, I got to get the voice warmed up before I sing. And especially when I joined Wicked, I had to sing pretty high in that show. So getting my voice warmed up consistently is super important.
Yeah.
And don't eat too much.
Yeah,
before a show.
I heard that once like an actor drank a Pepsi before a show, and they didn't know what it was going to do to them, and they were burping throughout the show.
Yeah.
I drank McDonald's. I ate McDonald's one time, and I like burped on stage, but like it was like a quiet one, so like no one really heard it. But it was like I was like, oh crab.
Yeah, give yourself plenty of time to eat before.
Yeah, and then my mom noticed. She was like, "What were you doing? Why'd you look like scared on stage?" I was like, "Because I just burped on stage, Mom." My gosh.
What show were you when you did that?
I think I was in. It wasn't a musical though. It was like I think one of the Odyssey plays. You know, like the Roman, the Greek mythology plays.
Greek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite stage door memory?
Well, actually, I think one of my favorite. I have this memory of going to. Okay, so when I was like your age, I would go see shows, and I would always go to the stage door and bring my playbill and have cast members sign it. I did it for every single show when I was a kid growing up, and I remember especially seeing shows like national tours when they would come through Houston. Where do you live?
We live in Virginia.
You guys are, you're in like outside DC.
Yeah.
So like if I remember like I played the Kennedy Center, right? And I remember coming out of the stage door, and there was a little kid, like not little kid, but like a teenage boy with his mom, and he had a playbill, and I had this moment where I remembered being that kid, and I got to be the person walking out of the stage door. And I think that that's the thing I always remember or try to remind myself of, is there's always somebody seeing that show for the first time at the stage door for the first time, and I get to give back to that person because that was me at one point, and I think it's super important to connect with people that way. So I can remember that, and I remember I reached out to an actor who had taken me on a backstage tour once when I saw Les Mis. After that moment, and just said, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I was like 12 when you took me backstage at Les Mis, but I just want to tell you, like, I'm now on Broadway. I'm now doing this,
cool.
and you inspired me to do that.
I like
That's
that.
nice.
Yeah, that's really.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like being a swing?
Being a swing is not for the faint of heart. It is stressful. It is. It can be really rewarding, but your work never ends. Like, there's some tracks or some shows especially when you're an ensemble, once you learn your part, that's it. You don't have to work on that anymore. I mean, you want to keep maintaining it, but you don't have to keep learning new things. As a swing, especially because you're learning so many different people's parts, you have to constantly be working. Constantly be reminding yourself what that person does that's different from that person and different from that person. And you never know who you're going to go on for. You could get a phone call 5 minutes to places. You could get thrown on an intermission. So it can be a very stressful job, and you have to be ready.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
That's it. That's it.
That's so awkward, gosh.
What is your favorite scene of any musical you've been in?
Favorite scene?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard question. Why you gotta have these hard questions? Favorite scene?
Yeah, it seems like you've done
any musical I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anything.
Lord. Okay. I did Ragtime at it was a gorgeous production at Oslo Rep, and I played Father. Do you know the show at all? Ragtime?
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, you should. Oh, it's so good. You should look it up and listen to it. It's so good. But there was a scene in Ragtime where I got to come home. He comes home. The father comes home from like this great trip in Alaska and discovers his house is just in total chaos. And that scene was my favorite to do because it, to me, really showed, I mean, without getting too deep, but it really showed that character to me. It really shows how America as a country is really stuck in its ways.
Yeah.
And afraid of change, and to sort of play that scene where he's realizing, wow, I'm not, I have privilege, or it just covers all of those things. And to actually get to sort of embody that in a show, and then it really alters the course of the show at that moment. So that might be, in recent times, one of my most favorite scenes that I've gotten to do.
Okay, that's cool. What do you want to do in the future?
What do I want to do in the future? And as far as performing?
Anything. It could be anything.
Anything. I want to be a dad. I really
like
want to
that?
be a dad.
Okay.
That is a high priority right now. So I'm hoping that'll happen in the next year or so, because I'm not getting younger. So I want to be a dad, and I really want to help people more. I coach, and I love coaching, and I love helping people even just collaborate as a creator, but also as a coach, and maybe help raise a child. I think those are my biggest goals right now.
Okay.
What role would you never do again?
Oh, gosh.
Is there a lot?
What role would... No, I'm just trying to think. What would I never do again?
It could be like...
I don't think... I did this show called Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do that show again.
Wait, can I ask why?
That show, for me, I mean, if I'm really honest, I felt like it didn't represent the best. I feel like it was a racist show.
Oh.
I didn't like, I did not like the subject. I didn't have a lot of say in the creative process of it. So once you're in, you're in. You can't really do much about it. So I feel like that show can be done. Like that doesn't need to be done again. I think we can let that one go.
Right. What was your favorite part in Paramore?
My favorite part, the love triangle. Your favorite number.
Okay, I like.
Yeah, I think that was the best number because I think it actually, of all the songs in the show, it actually did what that show wanted to do, which is marry musical theater and circus together.
Yeah. It was like, honestly, it was like a really beautiful like number.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like when I was watching, I was like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, like 8-year-old.
Yeah, that was a cool number.
Like 8-year-old me was like, whoa, it was super cool.
Yeah.
And it was scary. It was scary to watch them.
Really?
And because you're standing so close to them and you're singing.
Oh,
and
true.
What they're doing is so like dangerous that you have to focus. Otherwise, you'll be like during your line, you know.
Because I feel like in the audience, it didn't look that dangerous. But now I'm thinking about it. If you're like next to it, you're like. Like trying to focus in, trying to focus.
And you can't do that. You gotta be like, I'm cool. I got this.
Right.
But meanwhile, inside you're like.
And I feel like you playing AJ, you have to be like, I'm AJ. You
can't
be like,
because like he's an old character. Like his character's old. So you have to have like a kind of
and like movie star like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But now we're going to go on to fan questions.
Oh, boy.
So let's go back
on it up.
Y'all are so together. I can't believe this.
It's taken a lot of practice. We've done
lot of practice.
Maybe 10 of these so far. First couple of times, it was a hot mess.
Nerves were getting through it the whole time.
Yes.
Joel was like tapping his foot when you like jittery and stuff. I was like, okay, calm down.
Okay,
I am so impressed.
Thank you.
So the first question is, what is your favorite ice cream flavor from Chloe?
From where?
From Chloe. Chloe asks.
Oh, hi, Chloe. I am a basic chocolate. I just want good old classic chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. You know what I mean? I feel like strawberry can be like artificial. Vanilla can be like no flavor. So chocolate's just the best deal.
Chocolate, you're never gonna you can't be disappointed in chocolate,
right?
No matter what. Like if it's milk chocolate or dark chocolate, it's still good.
Cassie said, "Is the role you played in
blank?"
Blank.
Oh, she did this weirdly.
What does that mean?
Casey says, is the role you played in, let's just go for Wicked, the role you auditioned for?
Yeah.
She's like, any show.
Any show, yeah.
Is there any shows that I've auditioned for that I didn't play the part that I auditioned for? Well, I guess Amazing Grace is a good example. I went in to cover the lead, and I ended up being a swing. But every other time, I've always ended up being the part that I auditioned for, like to either cover the lead or to play like a featured role.
Okay. So now we have a game, and so you can choose the first game, the second game, or both. And so the first game is put a finger down, and so you start with 10 fingers, and we give you a prompt, and you put them down.
And then the second game is guess the musical, and you just guess the musical with like some lyrics, and we give you a clue too,
if you need it.
Ooh.
You can do both.
Which game is your favorite?
I think put a finger down.
Put a finger down.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Put a finger down if you rejected plans because of rehearsal.
Rejected plans?
Yeah.
Put a finger down if you cried at closing night.
Oh, yeah.
Put a finger down if you've been noticed on the street.
Put a finger down if you interacted with that theater girl.
Put a finger down if a famous person ever came to your show.
Put a finger down if you ever burped or farted on stage.
Put a finger down if you ever fallen on stage.
Oh.
Put a finger down if your voice cracked on the stage.
Put a finger down if you've gotten gifts from fans.
Yep.
Put a finger down if you played multiple roles in a show. Oh, you got 10
You got
fingers.
all 10 fingers down.
Yeah. I have a question. What was it like interacting with that theater girl?
With that theater girl?
That
Yeah.
theater girl.
Well, why don't we do like a sample? Why don't you, Savannah, why don't you pretend to be that theater girl
Okay.
and let's
Okay.
see how I interact.
Oh my god, hi, nice to meet you, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Oh my god, I'm such a big fan. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. I watch all your shows. I watch all of your shows. Oh my god, he's right there. He's right there.
It's so nice to see you. Do you need some water? Are you okay?
I'm good.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I would hug you if there wasn't a coronavirus.
Right. I feel like I'm deep breathing, like about to pass out.
One guy we interviewed said that they're like crying and like hug please.
And he was like, okay,
Sure.
right.
I'm totally a hugger, and I miss hugging.
Don't
miss
do it now
hugging.
because COVID, so you gotta be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah.
No, don't do it right now.
So like what type of famous people ever came to your show?
Great question. I thought it was so cool when I was in the original cast of The Little Mermaid. And so there are a lot of people that would come see, celebrities that would come see that. So Brad and Angelina came, Brad Pitt and Angelina.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Britney Spears came and she wore like sunglasses.
That sounds so like Britney.
Yeah.
I know. I remember I met, gosh, what is her name? What's that British soccer player and his wife at Spice Girls?
Oh, is he
David Beckham.
Yeah. I was gonna get it.
David Beckham and his wife came, and his wife, Victoria Beckham, she's Sporty Spice from the Spice Girls. And I remember, this is a good story. We did, so Little Mermaid, right? And Sebastian is
Titus Burgess.
the crab,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
right? Well, she's standing on stage after the show, and she's going to every guy that walks by, "Were you the lobster? Were you the lobster?" Right? He's a crab.
Right.
She'd be like, "Were you the lobster?" And then she's like asking him, "Were you the lobster? Were you the lobster?"
She keeps doing that?
And then you'd be like, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "Oh, yes, sure." And then the camera would come on,
So
and she'd be like,
adorable. I love that.
and then as soon as the picture was taken, she's like, "Were you the lobster?
Yeah.
Were you-"
Did she find the lobster?
She finally did.
Okay. Because someone help her. Like,
That's funny.
she's asking for it. Like, you know what I mean? That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
I like how she's just like, okay, where's the
and
lobster?
then like,
We the lobster.
the lobster. I like that. Okay, I have to ask. When did you fart or burp on stage?
gosh. There certainly are. I mean, I honestly couldn't give you a specific situation, but there definitely are times where, I mean, I don't remember any time recently, but somebody on stage lets one go, and you're like, "Who was that?"
that?
You go off in the wings, and you're like, "Guys,
Right.
someone
Right.
claim it."
Right.
And I've always been the person that's like, "Sorry, guys, sorry."
Same. I will be
I
like,
didn't
okay, I
mean-
did it. Yeah. If I ever confront people like, I know it was you. You better knock it off. Do you ever do that? I would do that.
You would seem like a person that would do that.
Yeah.
It all depends on who's in the cast.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we go on to do quick round?
Okay.
Okay, so these are like rapid fire questions.
Oh gosh. Okay.
What is your favorite Halloween costume?
Sanderson sisters.
Harry Potter house.
Gryffindor.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Favorite song.
When You Wish Upon a Star.
Favorite actor?
You.
Yay.
Favorite musical.
Sweeney Todd.
Favorite food?
Mexican.
Favorite color.
Blue.
Favorite beverage?
LaCroix.
Oh my gosh, most people's.
Kurt Hansen said the same
I
thing.
know it's like it's our third person that sent that, and we
Yeah.
drank them a lot too.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Okay, favorite place to eat in New York?
Blue Ribbon Fried Chicken.
Biggest pet peeve.
Self-righteousness.
Favorite sitcom?
The Cosby Show.
Favorite costume.
Favorite costume?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I love my wizard costume at Wicked.
Favorite animal?
I love dogs.
What other role would you want to do at any of the shows you've been in?
I really want to play the dad in Next to Normal.
Okay,
We're done.
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I was scared about that rapid fire. Okay.
You did pretty good answering and like on time and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So people would be taking like a whole like pause. So.
Yeah, they're like,
It was
honest-
called rapid fire.
Yeah.
I gotta
yeah.
bring it.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I probably would be like the person, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah. I feel like also like under pressure, you just like, oh,
Right.
what is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I might regret some of my answers, but you
Right.
just
Yeah.
gotta go for it.
Mhm.
Hey guys!
Thanks for watching.
Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can get an update on any new video.
And right now, if you use our code right here, you can get $5 off on any purchase on Broadway Booker. And they have your favorite stars like Erica Henningsen, James Michael Scott, Kate Rockwell, Kyle Seelig, and so many more. But make sure to tune in next week for Max von Esson. We'll see you next time.
Bye!